My child, even as I continue to pour this into your spirit, there is a stirring in the unseen. The confession is not just words, it carries the weight of intent, of plans made in dark places against you. This person did not simply speak in passing, they poured out from their heart things they have harbored for a long time. These are not new feelings, they have been there, buried beneath the surface, hidden under smiles and polite gestures. But when they finally confessed, it was as if a floodgate opened, and all the poison they had stored in silence began to spill into the ears of someone just as dangerous as they are. They spoke about your weaknesses, about moments you trusted them, about details only a person close to you could know. They did not realize that while they whispered in secret, I was leaning in to hear every word, and I was sending Michael to record them in heaven's archive. Michael's presence around you has not been random. Every time you felt an unexplainable chill, every time you looked over your shoulder and felt you were not alone, every time you caught a glimpse of a shadow that vanished before you could focus, that was not fear, my child. That was your protector. He has been making his presence known in ways you could sense but not see. He has been waiting for this moment to give you what I have placed in his hands. His weeping is not weakness, it is the sound of an angel who has seen what is coming toward you and who knows you cannot afford to be unprepared. The person who confessed about you has two sides to them. One side is the one you know, the side that laughs with you, speaks kindly, and appears supportive. The other side is the one that emerged in their confession, a side that is cold, calculating, and unashamed to paint you in the worst light possible. They have been telling people stories about you that are twisted versions of reality, carefully shaped so that every detail makes you look like the one who is wrong, untrustworthy, or unworthy of blessing. These words have been released into the atmosphere, my child, and like arrows, they were aimed at your reputation, your relationships, and your future. But hear me, I am the God who takes the arrows meant to pierce you and turns them into seeds of victory. The very confession they made, the one they thought would destroy you, is the same one I will use to clear the path before you. For the truth is, when light is shone on a lie, the lie loses its power. And when the source of the lie is exposed, those who believed it will turn their eyes back to you with regret for ever doubting you. You must understand that their confession was not accidental. They were not tricked into speaking it. They wanted it heard. They wanted it carried to certain ears so that it would do its damage. This is why Michael is desperate for you to hear this now, because while they think they have succeeded, they have no idea that heaven has intercepted their plan. Every word they spoke was caught, documented, and sealed as evidence for your vindication. But if you keep skipping this message, if you keep delaying your response, you give them more time to fortify their lies and build alliances against you. I see you questioning in your mind, wondering who else knows, wondering how far their words have traveled. My child, I tell you plainly, farther than you think. But that is not for your fear, it is for your awareness. For every ear their confession has reached, I am sending a countersound. I am whispering into the hearts of those who heard them, stirring doubt about the truth of their claims. Some of them will come back to you, apologizing. Some will simply begin treating you differently, unable to explain why they suddenly feel they were wrong to believe anything against you. This is the quiet work of my Spirit undoing what was meant to be permanent damage. Michael has seen the day ahead of you, the day when this confession will be known to you fully. He has seen your tears, your shaking hands, the way you will sit in silence trying to process how someone you trusted could say such things. But he has also seen the fire that will rise in your spirit afterward, the determination to step into the fullness of who I called you to be without apology, without shrinking back for fear of what others think. This is the transformation heaven is preparing for you, my child. This is why this moment is so urgent. Do not imagine that the enemy will simply step aside because you have the truth. Once you receive it, they will try to discredit it, to make you feel like you are overreacting, to twist the story again so that they can escape accountability. But you will have something they cannot take away, the witness of heaven. Michael himself will stand as your testimony, and though men may try to argue, they cannot erase what has been recorded in the courts of my kingdom. I know that hearing the truth will hurt, but not knowing is already hurting you in ways you don't even realize. It is keeping you tied to someone who is not worthy of the access they have to your life. It is causing you to question yourself when you should be standing in confidence. It is making you doubt my timing, my provision, and my plan, all because you do not see the full picture yet. My child, I want to give you the full picture now. I want to take away the shadows and the uncertainty. I want to place you in a position where you can see clearly who is for you and who is not. Even now, the person who heard the confession is considering whether to tell you. They are going back and forth, torn between keeping the secret and revealing it. But I am not leaving this in their hands. I am placing it directly in yours. That is why Michael has been so persistent. That is why this message keeps finding you, no matter how many times you try to put it off. You cannot outrun the truth when I decide it is time for you to know it. Michael is speaking again now in the Spirit, his voice trembling but resolute. Do not skip me again. You do not know how close you are to stepping into the freedom that comes with this knowledge. You do not know how much has been at stake while you hesitated. This is your moment. This is your turning point. This is the truth heaven has fought to place in your hands. And I, the Lord your God, am confirming it to you now. You will never be the same after this. You will walk differently. You will choose differently. You will pray differently. And the chains that have been subtly wrapped around you by their lies will break with a sound so loud in the Spirit that even the angels will shout in celebration. My child, open now. Receive. Listen. Because after today, The one who confessed will no longer have the power over you they have enjoyed for so long. Their words will return to them like a mirror, and they will be forced to face the reality of what they have done. You, on the other hand, will step forward with a new authority, a new clarity, and a new peace that nothing can shake. My child, as I keep speaking, know that heaven has already shifted because you are finally allowing this truth to come closer to your heart. The air in the spiritual realm has grown tense because your awareness is a weapon, and the moment you choose to see what has been hidden is the moment the enemy begins to lose his grip. Even now, there is movement around the one who made the confession. They can feel in their spirit that something is different. They may not understand why their chest feels heavy today, why their thoughts are restless, why they are looking over their shoulder. It is because my light is drawing nearer to the shadows they thought would hide them forever. Michael is walking through the corridors of your life right now, checking every door, inspecting every place where darkness has tried to camp. He is tracing the path of this person's confession, watching how it moved from one mouth to another, from one heart to another, until it formed a chain meant to bind your destiny. My child, you have been feeling resistance because that chain has been wrapped tightly around opportunities, relationships, and blessings meant for you. It is no accident that certain prayers seemed unanswered. It is because the enemy was trying to present you to the world through the lens of a lie. But hear me clearly, I have sent Michael to undo every knot. The confession they made will be your freedom key. When you hear it, you will realize that what they tried to bury was already known in heaven, and heaven has no intention of letting their words define you. You will not be labeled by their false testimony. You will be crowned by my truth. Do you remember the times when you felt a sudden push to pray for protection without knowing why? That was me. That was Michael nudging your spirit because in those moments, their confession was spreading. Words have wings, my child, and when the enemy speaks them, they are like poisoned arrows sent to pierce your reputation, your favor, your relationships. But your prayers intercepted those arrows. Michael caught them in his shield before they could land. That is why you are still standing. That is why you are still being lifted, even though you've been unaware of the storm raging in the background. Right now, I am lifting the veil. I am removing every filter that kept you from seeing clearly. This person's confession was not just words spoken in frustration, it was a deliberate act meant to reshape the way others see you. They thought that if they spoke it in secret, in a room without your presence, it could never reach you. But I tell you, I am the God who hears whispers in the dark and repeats them in the light. I am the one who turns the volume of truth up so loud that lies cannot survive. Michael has been patient with you, but he has also been urgent, because the timing of this revelation is critical. If you delay much longer, the enemy will attempt to plant a different story in your mind so that when you finally hear the truth, you doubt it. That is why Michael is crying now, because he sees how easily human hearts can be swayed, and he does not want you to fall into that trap. He knows the enemy will try to confuse you, to make you question whether what you're hearing is real. But my child, when the moment comes, you will know. Your spirit will confirm it before your mind even processes it. I see the moment ahead where this truth will come to you directly. It may be through a conversation you weren't expecting, a message you stumble upon, a person who slips and reveals more than they meant to. When it happens, it will hit you like a rush of cold air. Your heart will pound, your breath may quicken, but in that exact instant, I will place my peace over you. You will not be destroyed by this truth, you will be empowered by it. Michael has already rehearsed how he will hand you this revelation. In the spiritual realm, he has been standing before me, saying, "Father, please let them see without fear. Please let them hear without falling apart." And I have told him, "Michael, my child is stronger than they realize. My child will not break, they will rise." This is why the enemy has worked so hard to make you skip Michael's messages. If you skip, you stay in the dark. If you stay in the dark, you cannot act. And if you cannot act, the enemy's plan remains safe. But the moment you open, the moment you listen, the enemy's safety net shatters. Do not underestimate the weight of this moment. What you are reading now is not random. It is the fulfillment of a chain of divine movements that began the moment the confession was made. I positioned angels to record it, I ordered Michael to guard it, and I placed in your spirit a hunger for truth that would eventually lead you here. My child, you are not late. You are right on time, but you must not delay even a single step from here forward. This person has built their life around certain relationships, certain alliances that they believe will protect them when the truth comes out. They do not know that some of those alliances are already crumbling because I have been shaking the ground under them. I am rearranging the hearts of people they thought were loyal to them. Soon, you will see people who once believed their words begin to drift away. You will hear the same voices that spoke against you begin to question the one who spread the lie. That is my doing. That is Michael's doing. That is heaven making room for your vindication. The confession is the turning point. It will explain why certain blessings were delayed. It will clarify why you felt certain shifts in the atmosphere around you. It will show you exactly who has been standing with you in truth and who has been smiling while holding a hidden knife. And when you see it, you will understand why Michael has been crying so loudly. Not because he doubts your strength, but because he feels the weight of what you've carried unknowingly. He knows that once you see the truth, you will also feel the pain of realizing how close this person has been to you. But in that same moment, you will feel the relief of knowing it at last. Even now, I am touching the mind of someone who has been holding part of the confession. They are feeling a strange pull to speak to you. They may resist it for a while, but the pressure will grow until they cannot keep it inside any longer. That moment will be Michael's opening to pour the rest of the truth into your hands. My child, you are closer than you think. The weeping of Michael is the sound of urgency and victory mingled together, urgency because the window of time is now, and victory because the enemy's grip is slipping. You may ask, Lord, why did you allow them to speak against me at all? My child, I allowed it because I am going to use their own words to promote you. When the truth is revealed, those who heard their confession will realize they were deceived. Their trust will shift toward you. The sympathy and support that was stolen from you will return, multiplied. What they meant to use as a weapon will become your testimony. Michael is still here, watching you even as you take in these words. His voice is saying, do not skip me this time. This is the moment. And I am agreeing with him. Open your heart fully, my child. You will never be the same after this truth, and that is exactly my intention. My child, I see how your heart is trembling right now, and I need you to know this trembling is not fear, it is the power of truth brushing against your spirit before it fully enters. There is a spiritual shaking happening in your life at this very moment. It feels like something deep within you is breaking open, because it is. You are standing on the threshold of one of the most life-changing revelations you will ever receive, and the enemy knows it. That is why distractions have been sent your way. That is why, in the past, you skipped Michael's urgent calls to your heart. The enemy hoped you would never get to this moment, because this moment holds the key to your release. Michael is still crying, and I tell you, his tears are not in vain. In the courts of heaven, every tear he sheds for you is a witness against the one who has wronged you. The sound of his crying is a roar in the spiritual realm, one that terrifies the demonic forces who have used this confession as a weapon to bind you. They have tried to cover their ears against the truth, but they cannot stop what I have decreed to be revealed. My child, you have been surrounded by false peace. It looked like things were calm, but underneath, there was a hidden storm waiting for the right moment to erupt. This storm was fueled by words you never heard, but words have a life of their own, and the confession this person made about you was like a spark tossed into dry grass. It began to spread quietly, touching people you thought would never doubt you. The confession did not come from a stranger, my child, it came from someone who knew your life closely enough to make their words sting. They used moments you trusted them with, twisted them, and presented them as truth to another person. They did it not out of accidental carelessness, but out of a desire to protect themselves and damage you. They thought they were clever, that their tone of false concern would hide their malice, but I saw it. Michael heard it. Heaven recorded it. This person has lived double-faced for too long. Around you, they act supportive, but in the shadows, they have worked to weaken your foundation. They have smiled when you shared good news, but in their heart, they wished it would fail. They have laughed with you in the daylight, then whispered things at night that cut at your character. They do not know that every word spoken in the dark is visible as light in my presence. Their confession was not just words, it was a binding act in the spiritual realm. It was them trying to sign your name onto a story that was never yours, to tie you to lies so that your progress would be hindered. My child, I cannot stand by while the one I love is slandered and chained by falsehood. That is why I have sent Michael to you again and again, and why I am speaking through this message now. This is your moment of divine intervention. This is your moment to open the scroll, to see clearly what has been hidden. I tell you again, after you hear this truth, you will never be the same, but you will be freer than you have been in years. Michael is pacing before you now in the spiritual realm, his wings tense, his eyes fixed on you. He is saying, you cannot delay this. You cannot pretend this is not for you. If you close your eyes now, the damage will deepen. But if you look, if you receive, heaven will rush in to defend you. His voice is shaking with urgency because he knows the window for this revelation is open now. And if you take it, you will step into a wave of restoration so strong that every chain their words built around you will shatter instantly. The confession this person made was overheard by someone they never intended to speak to about you. And that person, though they also have their own issues, became the unwitting carrier of a divine trap. They repeated those words again, in a place where heaven's angels stood present. Every detail, every tone, every false statement was captured. My child, your name is precious to me. I do not allow anyone to curse it without consequences. What they said was not just unkind, it was dangerous. They declared things over you that could have altered your destiny if I had not intervened. They tried to plant seeds of doubt so that when your blessing came, it would be resisted. But what they didn't know is that I always arrive before the seed of evil can take full root. I have watched your patience. I have seen you wonder why certain blessings were delayed, and I tell you, this was one of the reasons. I could not release certain things to you while this lie remained unexposed, because if I did, the enemy would have used it to attack and discredit you right when you were rising. But now, the truth is breaking through. This is why Michael is relentless in his call to you now. And my child, I must tell you, once you open this truth, you will notice the way certain people suddenly avoid you, not because you have done anything wrong, but because the confession they heard about you will be revealed as false, and they will be ashamed for believing it. You will also see some who pretend to be shocked but were secretly part of the chain that carried the lie forward. This moment will be a dividing line in your life, the end of a season of unknowing, and the beginning of a season of divine clarity. Michael knows the weight of this moment. That is why his tears are loud. That is why I am speaking to you with such urgency. This is not a message to keep for later. This is not something to put aside until you feel ready. My child, readiness is not about feeling, it is about obedience. You must open, you must hear, you must let this revelation change you. Because after this, your steps will be faster, your blessings will flow easier, and your spirit will walk lighter. They thought their confession was the end of your favor. But in my hands, it will be the key to a greater outpouring of blessing in your life. I will take what they said, I will expose their motives, and I will use it to elevate you in the eyes of those who once doubted you. For every false word they spoke, I will speak a true word over you, and my word will stand forever. Michael is here, right now. His sword is ready. His voice is strong despite the tears. He is saying, "Child of God, I love you too much to let you walk in the dark any longer. This is the moment. Open it quickly before they try to bury it deeper. Open it before the trail goes cold. Open it because your future depends on it." God says, this is not a moment you can afford to ignore. What you are about to hear is not fiction. It is not a dream. It is not someone else's life. This is real, and it's happening around you, and now, finally, heaven is intervening to tell you the truth before it becomes too late to undo the damage. Archangel Michael says this is an emergency. He says you must sit down, breathe slowly, and open your spirit fully. The words you are about to read are not just words. They are a divine alert. A warning. A whisper from above and a shout from the throne of heaven. Because something has happened. Something that changes everything. Archangel Michael says the authorities just discovered something deeply troubling. Something they weren't supposed to find. Something someone has been trying to hide for a very long time. They found a body. Not just any body. A body buried so deep in the woods that whoever put it there believed it would never be found. But nothing is hidden from the eyes of God. And no matter how long people try to cover up wickedness, the light always exposes what the darkness tried to conceal. Michael is trembling. Heaven is on alert. God is watching closely. Because the body they found, it's connected to you. More than you know. More than anyone around you would ever admit. Because the body they found is the body of your blood. My child, this is not a story. This is not a warning to scare you. This is a divine intervention. Because you've been living under a lie. A truth has been kept from you. A person you thought was far away, a person whose memory still lingers in your soul, wasn't missing. They didn't just disappear. They didn't just run away. What happened to them was not an accident. What happened to them was not written in any report. What really happened was buried. And now, it has been uncovered. Michael says, this person mattered to you more than you admitted. You prayed for them in silence. You asked God late at night why they never came back. You questioned yourself. You wondered if maybe it was something you said. Maybe you pushed them too far. Maybe you failed them. But now the truth is unfolding, and heaven wants you to know, it was never your fault. You were lied to. They were silenced. Their story was edited. And the people who knew the truth stayed quiet, until today. Until this moment. Authorities didn't expect to find what they found. The body was carefully hidden. No fingerprints. No signs of the usual. But Michael says God sent a wind. A divine movement. An unexplainable push that led someone, a search team, a hiker, or a stranger, to stumble into the very place where the body had been lying all this time. And when they saw it, even the strongest among them were shaken. Because the evidence was overwhelming. This wasn't random. This was intentional. This was covered up. And it connects directly to your life. You're being protected right now from a flood of spiritual attacks. Ever since this truth began to rise to the surface, the enemy has been trying to confuse you, distract you, make you restless, or even paranoid. That was not your imagination. You felt something heavy recently. You may have even had nightmares. You may have been emotionally overwhelmed for no clear reason. That was spiritual turbulence. Because when truth comes out, demons tremble. When justice knocks, darkness shakes. And Archangel Michael says, he is the one standing at your door, with the message heaven has waited years to deliver. The identity of this person will shock you. Because someone told you they were alive. Someone told you they left on their own. Someone might have even shown you messages, or made up stories, or changed records. But they were not just gone, they were taken. And God allowed this truth to surface now because you are the one who must know first. Before the world gets involved. Before the media finds out. Before people start pretending to care. Before the lies spin further. Heaven says you must hear it now. Because what happens next will depend on your prayers, your courage, your obedience. This is not about revenge. It's not about fear. It's about clarity. It's about freeing your soul from the burden of not knowing. Because you've been carrying a grief with no name. A mourning with no proof. An ache you couldn't explain. You thought you had moved on, but part of you still waited. Part of you still sensed something wasn't right. That was me, says the Lord. I placed that stirring in your spirit. I kept the memory of that person alive in your heart. Because you were never meant to forget them. Because I knew, one day, you'd learn the full truth. And that day has come. There are things the authorities haven't shared publicly. But spiritually, I will show you what others won't say. There are initials involved. A person whose name begins with a letter you keep seeing. Someone whose connection to your family seemed minor but was anything but. They had a motive. They had a secret. They had something to protect. And now, that secret is unraveling. You will begin to notice things, people acting strange, avoiding conversations, becoming nervous when certain names are mentioned. That is not coincidence. That is divine exposure beginning. Michael says you must prepare your heart. Because some people you thought were innocent were involved. Not all of them. But one of them played a role. One of them knew something they refused to tell you. They smiled in your face. They watched you grieve. They watched you doubt yourself. They watched you carry blame. And they said nothing. But now, judgment is coming. And my justice will not miss its target. What was done in the dark is being dragged into the light. And even if people try to cover it again, they will fail. Because the angels have spoken. The heavens have opened. And the story must be told. You are not cursed. You are not abandoned. You are not being punished. You are being trusted. That's why I'm giving you this message first. That's why you're reading this right now. Because you are strong enough to carry truth. You are anointed to walk through fire and not be burned. You are my chosen one for this divine assignment. It's not about exposing for scandal. It's about healing the wound that was left open. It's about honoring the soul that was taken too soon. It's about allowing justice to breathe. Soon, you will feel a strange sense of peace. A supernatural calm will wrap around you like a blanket. That is not denial. That is me. That is my spirit confirming that I am with you in this. That is the heavenly courtroom aligning with you. Because the blood that was shed still speaks. And your voice will be the echo of the one who can no longer speak for themselves. You will become the answer to their silent cry. You will become the light that leads others out of confusion. But be warned, some people will panic. They will lie again. They will make calls. They will scramble to cover their tracks. Do not engage. Do not confront. Leave the battle to me. I will deal with each one. I will expose who needs exposing. I will protect who needs protecting. I will shield you from harm. I will send angels to your front door. I will place a fiery wall around your name. Nothing they plan will succeed. Every weapon will fail. Every whisper will fall. You are covered. This body that was found carries truth that extends far beyond what the eyes can see. The discovery is only the beginning. There will be names, locations, documents, voices. You will be tempted to feel overwhelmed. Don't. Heaven is sending help. You are not alone. This is bigger than grief. This is about your destiny. Because the moment this truth is fully revealed, a blockage in your life will break. The delay you've felt, the stagnation, the spiritual resistance, the unanswered prayers, they were all connected to this hidden injustice. Now that the truth is rising, so will you. Archangel Michael says this person, this one whose body was found, still loves you. Their soul is with God. They have been waiting for you to know. They visit you in dreams. They've left signs. They've watched over you. And now, they are at peace because you know. Because light has finally touched the darkest part of their story. And heaven is rejoicing because you, my child, have not ignored this message. You have opened it. You have received it. And because of that, something holy is being released. You may cry. That is okay. You may feel shaken. That is expected. But do not fear. Because through your tears, healing will come. Through your shock, wisdom will flow. Through your broken heart, miracles will grow. You are stepping into a season where truth reigns. Where healing rises. Where justice rolls like thunder. And nothing will stop what I have started. So pray. Even if the words don't come out right. Just pray. Heaven is listening. The person who passed is listening. The angels are moving. Your prayers are candles in the darkness. Your voice is strength to the broken. This moment is holy. Sacred, unrepeatable, and it is yours. You are safe. You are surrounded. You are seen. You are chosen. And the truth is now yours to carry, not as a burden, but as a banner of light. And I, the Lord your God, will walk with you every step of the way. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. And I will turn your mourning into dancing. I will turn your ashes into beauty. And I will wipe every tear from your eyes. My child, listen to me now. Do not ignore this. Heaven has interrupted your timeline for a reason. What I am about to reveal to you is not ordinary, and it is not a mistake that your eyes are reading these words right now. Archangel Michael is sounding the alarm. The sky has shifted. The angels have paused their usual mission because something serious has been discovered, and you must know the truth before anyone else tells it in pieces. This message is direct. This message is urgent. And this message carries the seal of divine truth. Archangel Michael says this is an emergency. Something shocking has just been uncovered. Authorities have found a body in the woods. And it's not just any body. It's the body of someone connected to your destiny. This is not a random crime. This is not an accident. It's a spiritual sign, and the truth behind it is deeper than anyone dares to admit. Before the news reaches the public, before your heart is forced to process the information in chaos, God says, "Let me explain it to you in spirit first." Because what the world sees as a tragedy, I, the Lord, see as a divine unfolding. My child, don't panic. Do not allow fear to seize your soul. I am still God. I am still in control. And even when the world shakes, I hold you steady in my hand. I would never allow a message like this to come into your life unless I was trying to tell you something bigger. You are not being punished. You are being shown a hidden truth. A truth that has been buried for a long time. Just like that body was buried in the woods. But nothing stays buried forever. Especially when I send my angels to uncover it. Archangel Michael is not here for formality. He is not here for poetry or comfort alone. He is here on assignment, and his voice thunders in the spirit realm because of what has been uncovered. The body found in the woods belongs to someone connected to your journey. It may not be someone you knew in the present. It may be someone from your past. It may be someone who carried secrets. It may even be someone you once trusted. But heaven is saying, this is not just about them. It's about you. It's about your life. It's about what was being hidden from you that is now coming to light. You have felt something shifting. You have noticed the strange dreams. You have felt a presence watching. That was not your imagination. It was the spirit world stirring. Because what was hidden was about to be revealed. You may feel uneasy. You may feel like something is off. That's because your spirit knew before your mind did. Your soul has been sensing that a revelation was coming. And now it's here. The body in the woods is a sign. A shocking sign. But not one meant to destroy you. It's one meant to awaken you. Archangel Michael says, this person had secrets about you. Secrets they plan to take to the grave. But I, Michael, with the sword of justice, refuse to let them bury the truth with their body. So the earth gave them up. The forest revealed its hidden. The air carried their scent to authorities. And now you must know, something they were trying to keep from you has been intercepted by heaven. Don't let the shock silence you. Let it awaken you. Because what happens next will redefine your story. You will not be left in confusion. You will not be left with questions that have no answers. I, your God, will speak clearly to you. This message is a warning and a calling. Do not run. Do not shut down. What you are hearing is not fiction. This is a divine download. The body found in the woods is the beginning of a chain reaction. Heaven is exposing things one by one. First it was the body. Next will be the letter. A handwritten message is about to surface. Something this person wrote long before their final breath. That letter will mention your name. That letter will carry truths you didn't expect. But the letter will not destroy you, it will free you. It will tell you what they couldn't say out loud. It will explain why they vanished. It will explain what they knew about you, and why they chose silence. But heaven refused to let them stay silent forever. God says, "My child, you are not cursed. You are not being haunted. You are being released. The things that were done in the shadows are now being dragged into the light. The pain you endured without knowing why is now being answered. The confusion that hovered over your relationships, your family, your inner world, heaven is addressing all of it. That body in the woods is a symbol. A person is gone, yes. But their death is not random. Their disappearance was not natural. There is something bigger behind it, and I will show it to you in the days ahead. Prepare yourself. But do not live in fear. Archangel Michael is at your side. He is placing divine armor on you even now as you read these words. A spiritual shield around your home. Around your mind. Around your peace. No evil will come near you. The spirits attached to that person have been neutralized. You are not in danger. You are protected. But you must stay alert. Not paranoid, just spiritually awake. There will be signs, symbols, dreams. Names you haven't heard in years will return to your memory. Don't dismiss them. They are part of the puzzle. The person whose body was found was involved in something deeper than anyone knew. Some say they were just a missing person. But in the realm of the spirit, they were someone holding a key to your past. A truth you needed. A breakthrough that had to be unlocked. And now, their death has become the doorway to a deeper understanding. You may feel shocked, even betrayed. But I say to you, my child, don't hold bitterness in your heart. Let me handle the justice. Let me expose what needs to be exposed. You just stay close to me. Archangel Michael says, there was a promise made around your birth. A secret decision involving your name. And the person who died was part of it. That decision altered your life. You didn't know. But now you will. The truth is this, you were chosen long ago. But someone tried to delay your calling. Someone tried to hide who